Hey guys, what's up? Scottish Duck here once again. Right, collection update, here we go. Now, I've actually been splurging quite a bit on eBay and retro games recently. I don't know, you know how it is, how it's been like past, like how many fucking years have I been doing this for? It just comes and goes, you know what I mean? It's like addiction, you just relapse every once in a while and you just kind of have to put up with it until you're ready to go on another break, isn't it? So, a few games here, and I actually have even like more on the way, which should be enough for a whole other episode, so might actually get 2 collection updates in the same week. Mass stare. Anyway, here we go. First off, Mickey's Wild Adventure. Now, this was a drunk purchase, you know, I'm quite privy to those. But it's funny, it's one that I've been meaning to use for a while. Actually, you can tell why it's a drunk purchase, because it's the fucking platinum version. I would never usually go for these, but this is like a re-release slash remake of one of the games I used to play the shit out of on the Sega Mega Drive, Mickey Mania. And I'd always meant to try this out because I used to always get sick of talking about this game with people who also played it as a kid, but they would call it Mickey's Wild Adventure, because I was like, it's called fucking Mickey Mania. But I genuinely have no idea what the differences are. I'm sure I've heard them in passing before, but yeah, there's that's that. I can't wait to. I'll bung it on and like give it a go just to see how different it is, because Mickey Mania is genuinely one of those games that I know super well. You know, I'll immediately like, oh, that's different, etc. So yeah, okay. Now guys, okay, one franchise that I've wanted to like for years, but for whatever reason, either something comes out when the new game arrives or I just don't have the time, is Monster Hunter, okay? And recently, I finally sat down to play a bit of Monster Hunter World, and I kind of liked it, so you know me, now I need to buy every game in the franchise. So I went on eBay and bought this, Monster Hunter Freedom. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But when it comes to Monster Hunter, technically there's two different series going parallel with each other. There's the main series, which has like, you know, Monster Hunter 1, 2, Try, 4, World, and now Wilds. And then there's like the handheld series, where something like Monster Hunter Rise would technically be part of like the handheld series. I know, which is a bit of a clumsy name nowadays, since a lot of things can be like portable and shit, but in any case, I believe this is part of the portable series, and these games were like mega big sellers in Japan. Yeah, I've picked that up anyway. I'll probably pick up the rests. Never play them, so yeah, there's that. This one, okay, so this is something that I was kind of like thinking about, and I was actually kind of surprised. It's like, why don't I own this? But I think I saw like somebody talking about it in a YouTube video, and I realized, yeah, I should probably like get that. Sonic Mega Collection. The reason I probably didn't bother with this for a long time was because Sonic Mega Collection Plus, which I believe was just like on the PS2 and Xbox, had a few extra games on it, so it was basically this but more. But it's funny when you look at it, like all the oh god, the crack in there. I just noticed that for the first fucking time. Where was I? Yeah, you see that like all the menus and like the interface is all completely different compared to like Plus and this version. And it's funny, that menu music in Sonic Mega Collection Plus, it stays with me. Like, it's such awesome music. And it's funny, when you listen to like the menu music in this game, you kind of realize it's like, oh shit, that's in like all the Sonic Tubers like outro music. You know what I mean? Because this is probably how a lot of people, this sort of generation below me, played these games for the first time. So yeah, no, it's nice to have that finally. Not so nice, but fucking crack. I'll have to look into fixing that. But anyway, this right here might also have been a drunken purchase. It's something I've been meaning to get to for a while. But so this is another series that I've never really played, and I'm almost scared to try this out, because what if I sort of like it and I have to get like every other game in the series, because there's like dozens of them, I think. But yeah, that's Ridge Racer 7. I think this was like a launch title for the PS3, so in that regard, it's actually kind of nostalgic. But yeah, I just never really had like the desire to play them. What can I say? Look, I'm just looking at the stuff that came with, all this like early PS3 shit. Oh man, oh I could eat this shit up. I really could. Genji, Days of the Blade, Resistance. More Spore. And there's what's her name that was in she was a bot, an Astrobot. I remember her. But I hear this is the best Ridge Racer game. What do you think? Is that true? Let me know. Anyway. Okay, now, these last 4 games here, so a bit of a story, okay? My sister came to me one day and was like, oh, Donald, my half-sister, she was like, oh, Donald, my dad's got this big tub of, like, games that he was just going to chuck out. Do you want them? And I was kind of put into a position where she knows I'm the game collector, but I can't exactly say no, okay? And it's just like, oh, God, this is going to be, like, a really manky box full of nothing but, like, FIFA games and scratched up discs and all that. And I'm just like, alright. And sure enough, that's exactly what it was. It was a manky arse box filled with FIFA games. They were all dirty. And there was a bunch of like DVDs and cracked up CDs in there as well. I was like, oh fuck, why did I say yes to this? So I went for a bunch of the games and I salvaged 4. Not just because they weren't FIFA games, but because they were actually clean. Well, I had to wipe them down with some wipes and that, but this is what I salvaged. Anyway, here we go. Resident Evil Outbreak. You got the classic there. Like, I've got a few games with this sticker on it, cash converters. But I've never really played this one before, and I think this game... Yeah, folk were talking about this. Some of the characters from this game are going to be showing up in, like, Resident Evil 9. Have I got that right? I think that's what those... I think that's what the folk were talking about. Aye, so... I don't know. Obviously, I can't play online anymore, but... That's a nice one. That's a nice one to have, for sure. As you can tell, it's mostly, like, PS2 games. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I'm actually kind of surprised that I don't own the Grand Theft Auto games for the PS2. I always thought Vice City was my favourite. I don't know, I might need to just get those for the hell of it. Like, I feel like if I was going to play them these days, I have them on Steam. Not those shitty definitive editions, actually. Grab the old... Do they even work anymore? On, like, Windows 11, I'll have to check that. For all I know... Rockstar's literally just snagged them out of the library. Can they do that? I don't know, but if that's the case, I'll just play it on here. So there you go, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, and yeah, I'll need to pick up like 3 in Vice City at some point as well. Now, question. First of all, don't get too disgusted because this is the one that had like a bunch of grime on it, and I couldn't get it all out. I think it's not grime; it's like sticker residue. But look at this thing, guys. Realm of the Dead. So I'm very intrigued by this game. Okay, I'm gonna pop it in and all that shit, but it doesn't have a Wikipedia page. So that was kind of like, ooh, there's some creepypasta shit right here. Why doesn't it have a Wikipedia page? But if you look at the fucking like manual here, right? You've got like the main characters, and it is very clearly like anime. Look at that. Look at that shit. Look at that lassie with the fucking sight. That's anime as fuck. And the cover of the game doesn't look anime also. Is this some sort of like heavily localized thing? Like it says right there as well as it's Idea Factory, you know? So it's like, huh. Okay, so I don't know. Is this? I haven't actually checked that. Is this pricey or something? I don't know, but I've got it there. Anyway, no idea why my half-sister's dad had this, but there you go. That's potentially a nice find. Okay, and the last one here is, this actually made me tear up a little bit, not gonna lie. That's Fantastic Four for the PlayStation. Why the fuck did this make me tear up? This is a terrible fucking game. Well, for those of you that know the Scottish Duck lore, I actually did a playthrough of this game with my best pal, who is a terrible fucking commentator. You could barely hear him. It's uploaded on this channel, and that is the best pal that died a little over 3 years ago. It's funny, I was actually, before I even like found this, I was actually reminded of this game a little while ago, and yeah, it just made me like go back to that playthrough on YouTube. I have it I have it privated now because I don't want that out there. Okay, but yeah, I started like watching it, and I can't even watch it for too long. But the fact that I should feel very blessed that that's there, you know, the fact that I have like a recording of me and my best pal sitting down to play a game that we used to play when we were younger. You know, it's hard to watch, but I should be glad it's there. Right. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking about that before I start tearing up. So that's all that, guys, but I'm going to start a new thing with these collection updates, right? Because, as I've said in a couple of videos or in a couple of streams and all that, I'm going full digital. I'm done with like physical game collecting going forward. You know, not for old consoles obviously, but for like Switch 2 and going forward with like the PS5. I'm sure I'll break that at some point, but with the whole future and, you know, like the game key card initiative and all that, it's not so much that it makes me want to stop gaming. It's just like, okay, physical media, it's like, if it's not, it's on its deathbed. You know what I mean? I feel like in my head, it's like, okay, I just need to accept that. That's just how it is. If I want to keep gaming, I have to accept that. So I might as well just go on digital. That's how it is up here, anyway. So I just want to talk about like some games that I picked up digitally. I'll try and stick to like new games, but it might just be anything I fancy talking about, quite frankly. For now, I just have like 2 games I want to discuss. The first of which is, and of course I was going to play this fucking game, Shinobi Art of Vengeance, okay? I know for a fact I will be too lazy to like grab the artwork and put it up here in the corner so you know what I'm talking about. But I'm sure you all know what Shinobi is, and if you don't, you really should, because that game was fucking fantastic, okay? It's by Lizard Cube, same guys that did the excellent Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap remake. That's the name of it, right? The Wonder Boy 3, but not the actual Wonder Boy 3. It was another Wonder Boy 3. They did the remake of that. That was very good. And they did the excellent Streets of Rage 4. Okay? And this one... See, Shinobi is a Sega IP that I'm a little bit on. Like, I like it, but it's not, like, up there when I'm talking about Sega and I'm just like, oh god, this franchise, that franchise. Shinobi's not usually there. But this was like way better than I thought. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I actually have like a part, because I tried, it was kind of like it was kind of spur of the moment thing. I kind of thought, because I was on holiday and I was saying to myself, you know what, I'm going to stream Shinobi. Alright, so I got to like, I did like a 4.5 hour stream. That's up on YouTube. But then during my second stream, for those of you that were there that want to wonder, my friggin' like controller started to desync. I've got like this Bluetooth dongle thingy and it just started to desync. It was being an utter arsehole in the middle of a stream. So what I ended up doing is I had a cable to plug in this DualShock 4, and when I plugged it in, I don't even know this for a fact. I know the DualSense does, but I guess this has like a mic in it, and it just completely took over and it was muted, so I just played a good chunk of the game while I was talking and the audio wasn't picked up at all. And that kind of soured my experience for the stream, not gonna lie, so I was just like, fuck it, I'll finish the game by myself, not recording. And it really is really good. I mean, I enjoyed it so much. And the other game that I'll talk about was Story... Hold on a minute. Yep. PC went into rest mode there, sorry. Was Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, the remake of Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar for the DS. Now, Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar is like a game for the DS that it didn't get like really good reviews. For those who don't know, I'm quite into Harvest Moon, right? I do enjoy the games a fair bit. I had like a phase during the 3DS days. Like that was like the height of that franchise for me, when it was a new Harvest Moon, A New Beginning. Then it was Story of Seasons, because that was when the whole Story of Seasons went from Harvest Moon to Story of Seasons thing. You know, let's not get into that. But yeah, that, and then the sequel, Story of Season, Trio of Towns. Those 3 games I played the shit out of. I imported an American 3DS so that I could play Story of Seasons and Trio of Towns early, okay? That's how into that franchise that I was at that time. And since then, I've kind of been trying to like chase that hype a little bit. To the extent I feel like, especially during the Switch era, with the newer games that come out, when I say newer games, I mean like brand new games, I feel like I kind of like rushed them. Because I can remember when the remake of Friends of Mineral Town came out for the Switch. That playthrough feels like an absolute blur. And then the new game came out, which was the one before this remake that we've got right now, which was Story of Seasons, Pioneers of Olive Town. I think I played that game on like easy, and I got my main character married in the middle of like the summer of the first year, so I didn't even get through half a year, and I stopped playing. I don't remember anything about that game. So I feel like I really need to sit down and like give these games a proper try. And oh boy, Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is doing that. I'm up to like 35 hours or something like that. I'm addicted. I'm thinking about it right now, in fact. It's like, Donald, It's like I'm in that Harvest Moon mode again. I can safely say I've not enjoyed a game in the series this much since the 3DS days, really. And I don't know if that's just because this game is that good, or I just need to be in the right mindset when I sit down to play one of them. I don't know, but either way, Harvest Moon Grand Bazaar, very much enjoying it. I'm playing the Switch 2 version, you know, runs at 60 frames per second, it's really good. You can even use like mouse controls, which is odd, but if you want to use them. But good stuff. Good stuff is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar. And I'm going to end this video and I'm going to go play some more, as a matter of fact. So yeah, guys, that's me. Hopefully I'll see you soon, because I got a bunch of games in the post coming and then for another collection update. But yeah, see you after. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.